So, should you eat your veggies raw? Should you cook them? How should you cook them? What are the best cooking methods to preserve the nutrients? What if you toss them in a blender? How does that affect everything? If you want to know the pros and cons of eating raw food, please continue watching. Hello, beautiful humans! Welcome back to our channel, Inc. Nutrition, where we are all about mind, body, and food. My name's Jack. I'm a registered dietitian, and I'm here to help translate the science of nutrition so that you can live a healthier and happier life. Please like, comment, and subscribe for videos every week. Today, we are diving into a pretty popular debate in the world of nutrition. Is raw food better than cooked food? Let's talk about the benefits and the drawbacks of both. So, we're gonna talk quickly, briefly about 5 topics. We have nutrients, digestion, taste and texture, food safety, and behavior. Stay tuned to see what that's about. So the first category is probably the biggest one, and that is nutrients. How does the nutritional quality of food actually change between cooked and raw foods? So when we're talking about macronutrients, carbs, proteins, fats, those are very stable, and those hardly change at all no matter how you cook them. Fat can be adjusted, or it can be modified or changed a little bit depending on how you cook. For the most part, if you see that chicken has 20 grams of protein, it's going to keep that amount of protein no matter how you prepare it. And same with the carbs and the fats. But with the micronutrients, remember, these are vitamins and minerals. This is where things can change. This is where things get a little tricky. So we have water-soluble vitamins. Those are vitamins C and B complex. B12, B6, folate, thiamine, riboflavin, niacin. All those are pretty susceptible to heat. Okay, so whenever you are sauteing or baking or roasting foods that have high amounts of vitamin C or vitamin B, you're gonna lose some of that, all right? But the fat-soluble vitamins, A, D, E, and K, those are pretty stable, and you're gonna lose maybe a little bit from using a lot of heat when cooking, but not very much, okay? They're gonna mostly be retained. Now, it does depend on the cooking method, okay? So steaming vegetables or lightly sauteing them usually leads to the best retention of vitamins and minerals. Now, there are some situations, which I think are beautiful, where cooking certain foods can actually enhance the nutrition of your meal or your food. But it usually involves phytonutrients, okay? So these are compounds that are not vitamins or minerals or carbs, proteins, or fats that are found in plants that can elicit all kinds of health benefits. So there's a couple famous examples that I want to talk about. Number one is lycopene. Lycopene is a very powerful antioxidant, and it's rich in tomatoes, okay? So you can still definitely get lycopene from fresh tomatoes, but when you cook tomatoes, like in tomato sauce or tomato soup, right, you are actually increasing the expression of that lycopene and getting more. So you're getting more antioxidant properties to fight oxidative stress. The next one is beta carotene. Maybe you've heard of it. It's a compound that is strongly associated with eye health, immune function, and skin health. And it's definitely found in more of the orange-colored, orange pigmented vegetables and fruits like carrots or sweet potatoes. And when we cook those foods, it actually breaks down the cellular walls and allows us to absorb more beta carotene as if we were to have them raw. Pretty cool. And the last example where cooking can actually be beneficial involves spinach. So this leafy green is a nutritional powerhouse, as many of us know. Very high in iron, calcium, magnesium, many other minerals. But it's also high in oxalate, which some people consider an anti-nutrient because it can bind to some of those nutrients and prevent them from being absorbed that well. But when we cook it, it can actually help us absorb those minerals in a better way. It breaks down that oxalate. However, there's a fine line. You don't want to overcook it, okay? So if you're gonna cook spinach, a light saute, right? Tossing them into, a breakfast scramble or a stir fry is perfect. And by the way, blending fruits and vegetables is going to retain all of its nutrients. So vitamins, minerals, macronutrients, you're gonna get the same amount if you were to have a smoothie as if you were to have the raw food. Now, the fiber content should also stay the same. It's just absorbed in a quicker way, which can be beneficial for some people. So as you can see, there are benefits from a nutritional standpoint from having both cooked and raw food. Next, let's talk about digestion. So this should be pretty individualized, okay? Because it really depends on how sensitive your GI tract is. If you have certain conditions like IBS or IBD, or if you have a lot of bloating and gas, constipation, diarrhea, things like that, cooking your food is going to be easier on your digestive system and cause less of all those symptoms. But if you can tolerate raw foods and a variety of them, I recommend incorporating them, especially raw vegetables, okay? So as a snack, for example, having more bell peppers, carrots with like hummus and other raw things, because you're gonna get so much more fiber that way. And fiber is a topic for a whole nother discussion, but it is extremely important for general health and gut health, especially when we're talking about our microbiome. The third category is taste and texture. Okay, now this is pretty subjective maybe, and it doesn't necessarily correlate to health, but I would say that most people would agree cooking your food is going to lead to a more pleasurable eating experience, all right? And that is one of the main reasons why I think people should incorporate cooked food. A raw food diet is just extreme, in my opinion. However, I think more people need more raw foods. There's this balance that has to happen. But when food is cooked in the right way, in the right temperatures, and not overdone, you can just bring out so much flavor in a beautiful way that you could never do it with the raw food. Okay, so just think about that. Next up, we have food safety. So this is where cooking is typically going to be beneficial. There are a lot of microbes out there, a lot of potential food-borne pathogens that can exist in our food. And when we cook food at the right temperature for the right time, we're gonna destroy a lot of that. Not all the time, but most of the time. For those of you who are interested, here is a handy list of the temperatures at which you should cook certain foods, especially protein foods, to reduce risk of foodborne illness. And the last area I want to talk about today has to do with behavior, which is pretty interesting. Unfortunately, a lot of people view raw food as always healthier than cooked food, and it's just not the case. Sometimes, yes, if you are frying food a lot, that's going to be less healthy. But as long as you are kind of mixing it up and doing a variety of cooking methods, all right, and especially cooking more at home, you're going to be just fine. And if you have this obsession with eating healthy, right, that can lead sometimes to a condition called orthorexia, which often involves eating exclusively raw food. And there's just a lot of problems with that can come psychologically, physically. So I just want to try to reassure everyone that having a balance of cooked and raw food is important and what I would always recommend. All right, there you have it. That's all I got for you today. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you learned a few things. Hope I maybe answered some questions, but if I didn't answer your question, please drop it in the comments below and I'll get back to you. And again, my name is Jack, Registered Dietitian with Inc. Nutrition. I also want to mention that we have a very dynamic team of dietitians at Inc. So if you want to check out our website, inchealthy.com, for more resources or schedule a consultation with one of us, we'd be happy to develop a personalized plan for you. Okay, that's all I have for you today. Thanks again for watching. Have a delicious day. I'll see you next time. So cook those carrots to get all that beta carotene, like that. Typically, so should you eat your veggies really high in, not lutein. Fuck, it's lycopene.